Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I know for my returning viewers this has been a bit of a hiatus for me. I have taken a couple months off, and before we get into this video I'm going to put some timestamps down in the description and on the screen if you want to just skip this little update. I have taken a couple months off because school has been very busy. I did get a new job, so I am now working 3 jobs part-time. I've also been feeling very uninspired, and I started my whole channel with the sole reason to share my story, share my experiences going through cancer, and to help other people feel less alone, which I'm so grateful that I did that, and I'm so grateful to be where I am now in my cancer journey, 4 years pretty much out of treatment. And that feels really good to say. And I am going to be starting my clinical year, which is crazy considering that when I was first diagnosed I hadn't even started naturopathic medicine, so crazy how time flies. But I have been doing some reflecting lately, and I'll keep it short. I think in the next video I'll talk maybe a little bit more about these updates, but I've been doing some reflecting, and a lot of it is surrounding authenticity. I feel like I've been in this kind of limbo after recovering from cancer and starting school and not really knowing what kind of videos that I want to put out there. And I think I've been getting in my head a lot about what kind of videos to make, what videos people are gonna like, and I've also been worrying about what other people are thinking. But I have, like I said, been reflecting, and I want to do what makes me happy. I feel like this is the year where I just do things because they bring me joy, and I'm not thinking about what other people in my life, particularly people in my personal life, because I know a lot of people do know that I have a YouTube channel, and I should be proud of continuing to make videos, again, that bring me joy. And reading is one of those things. So the update with my channel is I'm going to still be doing health related videos, but I'm also going to be doing quite a few book videos because, like I said, that is a huge hobby of mine. It is a huge part of my life, and I do read a lot, and I love talking about books. And actually a lot of my friends recently have been starting to get into reading, so I love that. It is like such a stress relief, and my favorite part of the day is at night when I get to read. So if you are a returning viewer and you have any ideas of any particular health videos, or if you do like book videos and you also have ideas for that, leave them in the comments below. Hopefully you stick around even if you aren't a reader. Like I said, I will be still doing health related videos. I do want to do some vlogs here and there as well because I do have a lot going on in my life, but I do also have to just figure out how I'm going to do that because a lot of the things are confidential now that I am getting into clinic seeing patients, and then my new job, I'm actually working at another clinic, and like I said, confidential. So without further ado, this video is going to be the first time that I've ever done this, and that is a TBR jar picking my TBR for the month. Now I am a mood reader, so we will see, we will test out how this works. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself because I do also just want to enjoy what I'm reading, and if I'm really not in the mood to read something, then I won't read it. But I have always wanted to do one of these, and I am very much inspired by all the book girlies on YouTube. This is my current read, the favorite, so this will be my first read of March because I don't think I'll be able to get through this whole thing today, but I am really enjoying it. And then before we pick the prompts, there are a couple of books that I do need to read this month. So the first one is The Handmaid's Tale. I am buddy reading this with my friend Taylor. She's already started it, so I do have to start this very soon. I was keeping this until after exams because I just feel like this one might be a little bit heavier. I have watched half of the show and I was really enjoying the show, but I'm interested to see what the book is like. And then on a completely opposite spectrum, I am starting a book club with some of my friends from school, and our first book club pick is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, and I've been seeing a lot of very mixed reviews online, so I'm excited to see what I think of it. And then this is also on the radar, but it's going to take me a really long time, so I'm not sure if I'm going to start it in March, and that is the tandem read of the next two books in Throne of Glass. So if you don't know what this series, it is recommended to read these books at the same time, so I have tabbed them. And that is Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. I believe the reason why you are recommended to read them together is a lot of people say that this is a very slow one, but it is necessary for the overall plot. And this one ends off on apparently a pretty crazy cliffhanger, but if you were to read them just one by one, you would have to go into this book where it's kind of along the same timeline as this book, and you won't get the answer to, I guess, the plot twist. So this is on the radar, but this is like over 1,000 pages, so we'll see. And then a new habit that I want to implement. I tried to do this last year, but I wasn't super successful with this, but I feel like I am going to be doing this in the morning. I want to read at least one nonfiction a month. And like I said, I'm going to try to do this in the morning. I am painfully addicted to my phone, and I really want to cut that out of my morning routine, so I think replacing it with a book would be a good idea. And so these three are on my radar. I probably won't get to all of them, but there's two that I am hoping to get to. The first one is Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before by Dr. Julie Smith. And I have started reading this, and it's just about a bunch of different topics like anxiety, grief, confidence, I think. Lots of like little like tidbits from like a therapist, so I will be starting with this one. The other one that I'm really hoping to get to is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. My mom did buy me this for Valentine's Day, so I do really want to get into this. And then lastly on my radar is Losing Young: How to Grieve When Life is Just Beginning by Rachel Wilson. And I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory, but if you are new to my channel, I did lose my grandmother in the summer, and I have still been really struggling with grief because she was more like a mother figure to me, and we lived together and I was just really close with her, so I feel like this would be a really necessary read. And it is pretty short, so maybe I'll get to it. Who knows? Okay, all that yapping out of the way, let's get to the TBR jar. So I actually made all of these prompts via ChatGPT. I just asked it to give me, I don't know if this is 50 or 100 prompts. I think we're gonna pick 5 books because, like I said, there's 2 books that I do have to read this month. One of those books that I'm going to be picking from the TBR jar is going to be a Kindle read, because that is also another goal of mine, is to have one Kindle read at least a month. So without further ado, and I will eventually make this prettier, but haven't really had the time. First prompt. Read a book from an author you love. Okay, maybe I will pick 6 prompts then, and I'm going to use this prompt for Deep End with Ali Hazelwood. I have loved all of the books that I've read from Ali Hazelwood. I'm pretty up to date. The only one that I haven't read is her stack of novellas, but I do love her books. So we're gonna pick 6 prompts, so that'll be the prompt for this one. We're off to a good start. I can see why people love doing this. This is like giving me a good like dopamine boost. A book that features travel. So I feel like there's definitely more on my TBR that involve travel, but these are the two that are standing out most to me. So the first one is You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I've really been wanting to read this one, and I believe they do go on a road trip, and there is some discussion about grief. And then the other one is Book Lovers, and they do travel to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina. But I don't know if I want to save this to closer to the summer. I mean, both of these are kind of summery romances. This and People We Meet on Vacation are the only two books I haven't read from Emily Henry. So I think I'm gonna go with You with a View. Okay, so that was 2 books. A book that won the Goodreads Choice Award. Okay, I have a list here. I'm gonna screen record it. Let's see what I got on here. I do have The Nightingale, and I am planning to read that with my mom. It is a pretty chunky book though, so that's an option. Maybe we'll do 2024. Let's see what's on there. The Women. I do have God of the Woods. I do have Quicksilver, the rom-commers. I don't really want to start a new fantasy series until I finish Throne of Glass, just because I don't want to get things confused. We have Better Than the Movies. I also have The Paradise Problem, but that one's more summery. How to End a Love Story. Book Lovers. Blue Sisters I do have. Leather and Lark I do have. What am I in the mood for? Do we do Blue Sisters maybe, so that we have some variety? Let me just pick that up. We'll pick Blue Sisters. I haven't read Coco Miller's other book, but I do have both of them, and I have heard some really great things about this one. Again, a big discussion on grief, which I really appreciate with everything that I've been going through on this grief journey, so I think this will be on the TBR. Okay, that's 3. This is number 4. Ooh. A book with a cover you love. Okay, I do like that prompt. I do want to do a hockey romance. I do really like these book covers. Oh, you know what? Okay, it's not hockey, but it is sports. I'm gonna go with The Right Move. I love these covers, and I've seen that they are redoing them, and I'm really glad that I have these covers, let's just say. But I did read Mile High last year, the year before, and it was good. It was okay. I know a lot of people really don't like that one, but this one seems to be the most popular in the series, and the series just keeps getting better, so I do feel like I have to continue with this. So we're gonna put this one on the TBR. Okay, number 5. A book set in a different country. I feel like that won't be hard because I'm in Canada, so. Okay, so we have a couple contenders. We could do the tandem read, but I feel like that's setting up the whole TBR for failure. So we also have these complete opposite of the spectrum choices. The first one being the next book that I have in the off-campus series. I read the first 3 books of this a very long time ago, but I at the time didn't have this book and the epilogue. And then there is a trope in this that I don't particularly love to read, especially with everything that I've gone through, but I have been feeling the urge recently to finish up this series. I really want to get into Briar U, and also, I don't know what this series is called, but it's basically a continuation, and the first book is the romance of the daughter from the deal of that couple. So I really want to get into the rest of Elle Kennedy's, so I feel like this would be a good one to pick. But then also, if I want to diversify the TBR, there's a thriller, and this is The Quiet Tenant. This one is based in New York, upstate New York, which is a different country. This one I think is also in the States, but you know what, it doesn't specifically say on the back, so I can't remember. Okay, maybe I'll go with The Quiet Tenant because I actually just saw Carter Sullivan read this and she said it was really good, and I have also had this on my shelf for a very long time. I'm not a huge thriller reader. I really like suspense and thrillers, but not so much mysteries that are slower paced. So the whole premise of this one sounds super interesting. So I'm gonna put this one on the TBR. Okay, and then the last prompt, we're gonna do a book on the Kindle. A book written by a woman, which is, I would say, 80% of my shelves, and probably on my Kindle too. And I think that's gonna mean, so I'm gonna pick Reign of King, which I already have fired up on my Kindle, and this is part of the, it's called the Kingdom Duet, which is the one that I should have read before the epilogue, which I read the epilogue before and I had no idea what was going on. So this is gonna be on the TBR. So again, I am not going to put too much pressure on myself to read every single book on this. I feel like being a mood reader, it's good to have a variety and it's good to have a goal, but again, I do also want this to be fun, and I am just going to show you my March TBR. So first up, that we didn't pick but I will be reading, is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. For a book from an author that you love is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. For a book that won the Goodreads Choice Award, Blue Sisters by Coco Miller. For a book with a cover you love, it's going to be The Right Move by Liz Tomford. For a book that features travel, it's going to be You with a View by Jessica Joyce. For a book set in a different country, it's going to be The Quiet Tenant by Clemence Miquelon. And then lastly, a book written by a woman is going to be Reign of King by Rena Kent on Kindle. So this is my March TBR. Hopefully I'll be able to get to as many of these as I can, and plus a nonfiction book as well, and potentially start the tandem read in Throne of Glass. I might start it, might not finish it, but we'll see. But yeah, this was really fun. So thank you so much for coming along with me and choosing my March TBR. Let me know in the comments down below if there's a book that you're excited to read this month. Also, if you're new to my channel and you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. I'm going to be doing lots more book videos and also some health videos, so get excited for that. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.